What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another battle replay from the quarterfinals of this season of TWL. I think it's season 18, 17, I don't fucking know. A lot of seasons, 17 apparently. Maybe it's 18, could just be wrong. But no, I think it's 17. Yeah, quarterfinals. This time we have Ragnar and Sofado facing off, and they're best of three. Two quite good players, although Ragnar hasn't been as active. Sofado have been pretty active recently, which is good to see. Obviously with the Cup of Nations and stuff, that helps as well. But yeah, should be a really good series. I'm gonna go quickly tab out and find the pick ban situation here, if I can. Looks like I can. That's good. Alright, so right, first matchup as with the old unnecessary game is Pool 3, and Sofado banned Colchis and Samaria, Ragnar banned Egypt and Selly. I think that's fine. At least Bactria and Macedon, or sorry, not Bactria, Nabatea, Macedon is probably the stronger factions. Egypt, Selly, Colchis would also. Oh no, he banned Colchis, right? Okay, yeah. Syracuse, Egypt, Syracuse, I guess. So anyway, Sofado goes Macedon, best choice available. Ragnar goes Nabatea, second best choice. Though I do think Macedon's slightly better here, although certainly not too bad for Nabatea if you can get the Cav play right. Um, so yeah, should be good. Should be a good matchup. And let's go. All right. Yeah, I think the army for Soft is pretty much what I'd expect from Macedon. Actually, it's a little bit more infantry heavy, which is not a bad thing in this matchup. So he's got 4 Javcav. I like the idea of bringing these Thracian Cav to save a little bit of money. Tarentines are useful, they can kill archers, they can have more mass, but the Thracians will be good in melee as well, and they can, they're just a little cheaper. The light mass, not a huge deal, because there's not any Javcav on the field anyway. So it's not like you lose the ability to melee the enemy Javcav like the Tarentines can. So this is good to save a bit of money, and because of that, he gets 4 Thorax and 3 Thracian warriors. So very nice infantry corps against Nabatea, which is probably going to be rushing, that's what you'd expect. And he has 4 Thessalians, a companion general with 4 slingers, so very standard army. For Macedon, and pretty nice looking one. Macedon sometimes has trouble getting all the units, but not a problem for Sofado here apparently. And yeah, Javcav going to be able to surround Ragnar, who's bringing a front line of Nabatean axe warriors, 4 of them, looks like 4 Nabatean swords. He's got a couple of Levy spearmen as fodder, and then he has 8 cav or something. Oh, he has an armored desert hoplite as well. And then he has 3 lancers and 4 Nabatean noble cav, so 7 cav with 2 heavy archers, which can be very useful. It's gonna be relatively easy to get to them, but he has a lot of cav. He has big cav advantage. Soft has the infantry quality advantage, but not numbers, not even close numbers. I mean, there's essentially 9 melee units if you include the armored desert hoplite plus 2 fodder against only 7. But the thorax swords will have the quality advantage over anything. And the cav advantage firmly in Ragnar's favor, but the Javcav can have a say. Soft going after the Nabatean swords here. They have 60 health actually, so very good health for the 2 armor. That costs 450. That's very nice. Compared to the axe warriors, only have 55 health with higher armor. So very, honestly, not bad. The problem with these Nabatean swords is their attacking stats are not very good. Their melee defense is a bit lacking, not terrible or whatever, but their real killer is the morale, which means they tend to rout quite easily. But those stats are honestly not bad. 60 health on a unit at that cost is really nice, for sure. Yeah, the axe warriors, and then you got the armored desert hoplites, who are really, really good. But you can see Ragnar a bit worried about the Javcat, but he's doing the right thing. While there's no threat from the main force of Sofado, just don't let them get any shots. He puts a fuck ton of units back here. There's no way for the Javcav to have any impact at the moment. But once Sofado, of course, engages, or threatens to engage, these units are going to have to turn. If he keeps all these 4, 5, 6 units out of the fight, then this core against this core is going to be very favorable for Macedon. So these units will need to get into the fight, which is going to give the Javcav openings to make plays against Cav, against archers. The other thing that Self can do is keep these Javcav, what he's doing now, inside his lines, because these cav will have to go forward at some point. If you just allow a frontal engagement, it's going to be very good for Mastodon. The slingers are going to have a lot of impact. You don't lose out on the fact that you have so like a disadvantage in cav. These numbers of cav means Ragnar wants to flank, but now with these guys here, and these guys can cycle around to the flank, it's going to be very hard for these cav to activate anywhere but frontally, and frontally, at least Soft can pretty much deal with it, right? Like, frontally, you don't use the numbers very well. He has a cav to countercharge for each of his infantry, and then, you know, whatever. I mean, maybe some Thessalians die, but it'll be harder to use the cav numbers unless you can get around the flank, so the Jav cav are doing a good job of denying that. And the slingers, of course, can have a lot of impact shooting all the cav in the center. If they're on the flank, they don't get shot as much by slingers, but of course the Jav cav are there to supply that ability. So the slinger's gonna get some free shots. I mean, these heavy archers are gonna shoot back down on the Jav cav there. Soft realizes it, gets out of the way, more or less there. It was only a small volley, so not a big deal. But yeah, these slingers, again, this is like free shots, you might as well take them. I mean, it's not gonna get a lot of kills, but it's gonna do HP damage. He's starting to get some kills. Ragnar gonna lead the charge with his general, which is just, okay, no, he's just baiting it out. That's fine. Soft maybe gonna just accept the fact that he's gonna get, oh, I don't know. That was a bit strange. So Soft gonna just, he's gonna let these guys charge him in order to get a lot of javelins off on the cav. What that's gonna allow him to do is equalize the cav fight pretty quickly, right? These lancers are gonna lose a bunch of men, 10 men here, 10 men here almost. Now he's gonna get some counter charges. He's gonna get some engagements over here, but he's trying to he's trying to shoot down the lancers essentially with his Pila, with the, with the Jav cav, with the slingers, everything. And his infantry will now be in a suspect position, however. They might not be so good. So he needs to win in a couple places here. He does have the Thracians in reserve as well, who can really do a lot of damage. Companion gets a very nice charge here into 2 units. Thracian's gonna get in as well. Nice hit here, actually perfectly timed. But these Thorax in the center are gonna lose. They're gonna lose pretty hard. Thracians, though, again, they're gonna clean up a lot of these units in the center. Over here, on the flanks, though, Ragnar should be okay. He actually pulls out his both units, I guess. It's fine. Get away from this Nabatan sword. Trying to hunt down these cav. And yeah, the Thorax swords, you can see where they get charged straight up, they're gonna have a great time, but they're only facing up against Nabatan axes, like they can hold, but you can see they will eventually lose, especially where he has the other unit. Here, nice charge from the comps. I'm gonna kill this Desert Heavy Lancer, but there's another one here. You can see Ragnar trying to just bust through every gap, Soft not letting it happen, but there are some dangerous fights. For example, this general here in a pretty bad spot. But now that you can see the Tarentines activating very nicely, here again, the infantry and cav combo winning. Thracian's getting across. You can see he's winning in enough places to be kind of okay here. He might win this fight. He's definitely winning here and here. But he's losing the center. But the Thracians are still in support. Not over here, though. I guess the Thracians died over here. Finally, some help going to come for the companion general. And he should survive. And you can see these Nabatan swords, like, sure, they get the Thorax, but they took a lot of damage. Now they're going to start dying. I think Saul forgot to melee attack here. The general might go down. I mean, there's another cav unit here. The Thracians are getting in. But all you can say is that the slingers are not under a lot of threat at the moment. And you can see the Jav cav having pretty big impact now. They can rear charge here. They're killing the archers off. Okay, here they kind of got caught. And here there's still a Thracian. But this looks still okay for Soft. If the slingers can live and he can keep a couple cav alive. Especially over here. He probably needs to save the Tarentines. And the Jav cav, because he needs to keep his slingers alive and maybe he can hold this. His infantry's going to lose long term. I mean, there's like almost no Thorax swords remaining. One here, 85. I mean, maybe it'll live. But there's not a whole lot of cav left on the side of Ragnar, so that's like a pretty good trade. You can see, yeah, Soft allowing those initial charges has seemed to pay off because these cav are just so weak that they die on the second charge. They die to slinger fire. Now there's slingers alive in the late game. There's a Thessalian at 20 men, the general at 15. Thessalian at 15, but there's also these Jav cav here, so gotta be aware of that. And there's enough small Thessalians, I think, to protect. I mean, the general can, I guess, try to get in. He's gonna go kill off this cav, I guess, but he needs to kill the slingers if he wants any chance to win here. I mean, you can just suicide. You can just suicide his own general and the Thessalian here. There we go. We'll kind of get into the slingers. That's like a good result, kind of. And the remaining, Thessalians causing some pain here. These are just levy spearmen, so they don't really matter. Thorax sword, 68 men. Again, the infantry was never really going to be a problem for Ragnar if he got those charges initially. But now it's going to be a question: can the general survive? This unit is necessary to kill this general. If he can kill the general, even if he costs him his own general, it should be fine. You see, the slingers are having a lot of impact now. But there's still, I guess, there's this little unit of desert heavy lancers. Maybe they do something here. That would be annoying. Yeah, they're gonna get through here, and they could kill off the slinger potentially. Well, they couldn't probably kill it, but they can stop it from moving, right? And these guys can come together. But there's still 3 slingers alive as Soft can micro, and he can. Because he good job microing this. He's still got the big jab cav. It's gonna be a very tight end game, essentially, is my thinking here. 40, oh, these guys got caught, but Soft did realize, I mean, the companions now. Okay, the companions are gonna charge in. Last chance saloon, but it's 13 against 20, sure. But there's a slinger about to just murder everything in here. The comps are gonna die. The general will die. If the general dies here, it will be bad. But as long as he can kill off all the cav, I mean, there's 18 guys left. It's gonna be very tight. Very tight indeed. No, it doesn't seem like he might be able to protect it. So it looks like Ragnar should just about win, unless this Javkav could actually do a lot here with the Thorax Sword and this Thorax Sword, potentially. I mean, the General's only at 13 men. The General didn't die, which is unfortunate. If the General had died, this would have been very easy. I think this Armored Desert Hotplate, though, at 80 men with 2 small cav units should be just enough to hold this. See, the Nabatean Sword's almost routing there. Levy Spearmen, I mean, they're not going to be much of a threat, but army losses might kick in here. Very close game, but I think I think the one problem, and I didn't mention it during the replay, like, I'll mention it now, he went very aggressive with his cav on this flank. I think he needs to just keep his cav alive. His play at the start was wise. Just let the Lancers charge in, get good Pila. He killed, like, 10, 20 men with the Lancers, and he won the flank fights, right? He got his Thessalians in on the flanks. So he had 3 healthy cav in the center that he didn't charge, plus the 2 Thessalians that charged in on the flank, and they didn't take that much damage because he had the Jab cav as well. And he had the Jab cav as well. But I think his Jab cav and the Thessalians got a little bit too invested going for the enemy units behind. And yes, he had to kill the archers, and like he was gonna do that. Maybe the Tarentines should take care of that, but then the Thracian cav should come back and support. The win condition was to get his slingers into the end game. And if you could do that, then of course, the Cavs to chase you down, and then these Nabatean Cav can just die to the Thracian warriors, the Jav Cav, and the Thessalians and the Companion General. But instead, he had a few too many Thessalians going for it on the other side. Didn't have enough to defend his slingers once the units started to get hurt. And you can see the Javcav not really having quite enough impact. It was a pretty good play from Ragnar defending against them. You can see they took out the archers, but they also died for it, kind of. So you'd really like to see these Javcav being able to use more of their stuff against the Cav. I mean, you can see the Lancers get decent kills, but I mean, not super valuable. Again, they kind of killed enemy Cav, which is again because Soph was chasing a little bit too far, I think. He just needed to defend the slingers and take the thorax swords and Thracians that would win to, tie down the enemy infantry, basically. But it was a very close game, so, hard to fault Soft too much. But obviously, the slingers didn't make it out, and that was the most important thing. The general, being healthy for the end game, was able to just get in, kill the remaining Thessalians and the companion general, and then kill all the slingers. So, very close, came down to, like, essentially one cav unit, but that's sometimes enough. So, well played for Ragnar there. But we move on to game 2. And what did we go? Let's see. So pool 2. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay. So I probably have them out of order. I think it's this game. So pool 2 now. Ragnar bans Pontus and Bactria, so he doesn't want to play that matchup. That's like the classic matchup from pool 2. Those are the best 2 factions in the pool. Soft bans Epirus and Lusitani. So there's options there. So those are factions that I guess Epirus is pretty strong. Lustani, I guess he Sot didn't want to have to face for whatever reason, because they're definitely not one of the stronger factions here. So I'd say, given those bans, strongest factions remaining are probably Getai, Nervii, Suebi, Massilia, Carthage, Suebi. I mean, yeah, probably something like that. Um, some of those factions. So, I mean, again, this is a very balanced pool. So Ragnar going first, he picks Nervii. It's a fair enough pick, I think. You get the best infantry doing that, and Javka, of course. And Soph will go Getai. So this is a very classic matchup. Um, oh, never mind, never mind. They fucked up. So they thought it was pool 2, but it's actually pool 1. Yeah, yeah, so never mind. Belay that, that'll be for game 3, maybe. Um, so, okay, it was pool 1. My bad. So, Saba, Boyar, Verni, Tillus, Armenia, Parthia, Galatia, Numidia, Rome. Ragnar, again, banning first here. He bans Parthia, Saba, saying, I don't want any of that heat. Soft does the logical thing, ban Armenia and Numidia, especially because you're playing on pyramids. You don't want any of the desert factions, especially when they can take you down with the Cav, because you banned Parthian Sal already. So, yep, smart. Tillus goes, Ragnar goes Tillus, sorry. Um, yeah, Ragnar goes Tillus. Soft has Boyai and Rome to pick from. He goes Galatia. Potentially because he also gets like a little bit of a desert bonus here with the Cappadocians and the Syrians. That could be kind of nice. So it's a fair enough matchup. So let's see. So I didn't have this out over. Let's go into it. Very interesting matchup. A lot of different things you can do. We saw this matchup. Didn't Asera and yeah, I think Asera and Olda played this matchup as well. I think Boya is the counter to Tillis, really not so much Galatia, but Galatia is also fine. He's got the 4 horse skirmishers. Again, they have the desert heat bonus, and the raiding horse obviously don't. They do have resistance to fatigues, and they're not going to get tired super quick, but they will get tired, and we saw how badly that affected the Ulda and the Sarah game. So it can definitely have an impact. He needs the Shadow Cav, obviously, to screen against the enemy Cav. Of course, only the 2 Cappadocians and the Noble Horse, but these 4 horse skirmishers have a lot to say in this matchup. So it's a, it's a lot to bring 4 horse skirmishers in this matchup because you're also going 3 Syrians and 3 Cav. So like, it's a lot of unit slots where you know Tillis is gonna have an infantry spam. There's 3 Syrians. There's 3 Galatian swords and 1, 2, 3. Okay, 5 legions. Ah, yeah. Actually, no, because it's A53 or A54. Sorry, this is completely fine for Galatia, really, because you can bring the 5 legions, and that's a very strong base. Only 2 Levy Freeman because he has the 4 horse skirmishers, but that's completely fine. So that's actually a very nice army. The 5 legions is insanely strong. He's got the support of the Galatian swords. I don't like putting the Galatian sword in the front line here, though. In the front line here, right? Because it's just a target to get shot. I'm not going to shoot Levy Freeman if I can shoot Galatian swords, obviously, for these Celtic slingers. Ragnar deploys in the forest here. He just says, I'm gonna hang out here so the Syrians have less impact, which they certainly will. These horse skirmishers I feel like should try to save their ammo a little bit. I mean, shooting down these spear warriors in the unshielded side is not a terrible target, but they really want to hit these Galatian raiding horse if possible. I mean, even if they run out of ammo, they can still screen the Cappadocians against the raiding horse so they don't get javelined. Like, these guys can eat all the javelins in the world once they're out of ammo. It doesn't really matter as long as the Cappadocians don't get shot, kind of like using the Levy Freeman to screen, but they're faster, obviously. But obviously, they'd like to shoot up the raiding horse if they can. That's the most value they're going to get out of their javelins against the raiding horse, unless they can shoot like Oathsworn or something in the side, the unshielded side specifically. Let's skip because this is like a long game. Looks like Sofado has to say, well, how do I deal with the forest camp? I mean, I don't know, my opinion is that the forest camp is fine, to be honest. Like, if you're playing on a map of the forest, you have to expect that the enemy might camp in the forest. Like, another reason why Galatia might be worse than Boya, right? Boya can take on the infantry fight. Otherwise, I think it's like, why are we playing on anything but Nevada Senate if we're worried about forest camps? Like, the downside to this forest camp is you have to sit in this tiny fucking forest, right? That's not good. The issue with that logic, though, and this was discussed in depth on the TWL chat in the Discord. The downside was saying, okay, you can just camp if you want to, which I think, that's the way it is in Rome 1. I think that just makes the most sense. Breaking a box, breaking a camp is a skill. But the problem is, why is this guy allowed to camp and this guy isn't, right? Like, why should this guy be forced to attack the box? Why isn't he just bonked over here? And there's no, I mean, to be honest, in Rome 1, there's no rule against this either. But in those matchups, it's super obvious, like, who's doing the camping, and, like, pike box, whatever. And so it's kind of just, like, understood, like, in this matchup, you have to the way the meta is, you break the box. If you know if it's Britons versus Carthage, Carthage gonna be boxing, Britain's gonna have to break the box. Um, you know, Carthage can't just. I mean, Carthage could just say, I'm not going. I'm gonna, or Brit, sorry, could say, I'm not going, and then just stand off. But that's sort of just understood, like who the boxing player is. And I'm not sure, like, you know, in a matchup like this though, right? It's like no one's specifically boxing. Like both armies could fight. If this was Nemesis Senna, right? Like both armies could just take the fight normally. It's just because there's added terrain, right, that you're incentivized to box. So there's no reason for Soft to be like, well, my, you know, his army is like just the same as my army, pretty much. There's not a huge difference. It's like, sure, Soft has like slightly more cav or whatever, but like, you know, that doesn't mean that he shouldn't have to rush. But I think so, yeah. If you want to allow boxing, you basically have to allow for a rule to tell the players who's the attacker. And that should just be whoever has like more mobility or more like archers, basically. Probably more mobility, more cav. Because like, yeah, if you have more cav, it doesn't make sense. Like, you're like the other player shouldn't have to try to rush you down, right? That doesn't make sense. Like, that's just bad. Um, and we all accept in the end game, right? At the end game, if I run out of cav and you have archers, of course I'm gonna box. Like, I'm not gonna just run around with my infantry chasing you. So I feel like that should be this player's prerogative to do that if he wants, even if he starts the game like that. And again, other players should be understanding that, yeah, this guy could go for a low cav army intentionally to try to box, and I have to be ready for that. Um, and that's just the way it goes, especially faction like Tillis, where you know they're not going to have a lot of cav, right? So, yeah, anyway, we have a missile war going on. The Syrians doing their job, demolishing the Celtic Slingers pretty easily, but wasting some ammo. Maybe Sop is thinking, look, if he's going to play towards the forest, I might not get great shots. Let me just kill these Celtic Slingers off anyway. I personally would just attack, I think. Or maybe, nah, maybe I would shoot them down. Maybe I'd shoot them down, and once they start getting low on numbers, I would just go for it. And that's sort of what Sop is doing here. He's like, okay, I'm not going to shoot these guys down to 0 men. Like, there's no point in doing that. It's going to cost too much of my ammo. Obviously, once more people die in the unit, like, it's going to be harder to kill it, right? Like, if there's like 5 dudes alive in the unit, you're more likely to miss, I feel like. But you can get them down to low numbers where they're not going to have too much impact. Yeah, it just backs the Syrians out. Obviously, these Celtic Slingers should just keep shooting the Syrians if they can, so Soft wisely gets them out of there. Don't want to take that fight. Don't want to just allow the Slingers to freely shoot. More shots coming in here. Actually, it's going to be root shots, so good impact from the characters. Lining up a charge here. I mean, these guys are super isolated from Ragnar. This doesn't make any sense. Like, these guys are just alone. If you're gonna play this, like, no cav army as Tillis, you have to just box. Like, you have to be super defensive, have staggered lines. Like, this is the way you lose, because, yeah, he gets, like, a few peel out, maybe he kills 2 guys, but this unit is now just dead. And so it's going to be a pretty easy kill. That's a really good way to start the fight. I didn't look at Ragnar's army, so sorry. It's tribal, 4 tribals, 2 Oathsworn, Thracian warrior, maybe another Oathsworn. So 3 Oathsworn and a Thracian warrior with 4 tribals. Very nice. 3 slingers, 2 spear warriors, 4 Levy Freemen, 2 Jav Cav, something like that. Here, Levy Freeman battle going down, very even. Tribal warriors gonna lose this fight to the Galatian Legionnaires though. Double tribal warrior now, stack of tribal warriors here. Will help, I mean obviously they'll win on weight of numbers, but here comes the second legion. Actually could get a rear Pila here if he really wants it. Maybe he did a little bit. 96, 119, 110, so easily the legions are winning at the moment. Syrians gonna focus down this retreating tribal in the ass. Gonna hit it for a lot. Tribal is probably, okay, they're chasing the Galatian sword. Actually get a nice rear Pila. This is something that I've been thinking more and more about. You gotta really avoid these like Pilas in the back. Like, even if he's chasing you here, you should turn, take the Pila in the front, maybe like Pila this unit and keep running, especially if you have the speed advantage. Just taking 11 losses from Pila in the back for no reason just sucks. Like, just sucks. Oh, there's 3 Jav Cav, by the way. So Ragnar keeping these Jav Cav in reserve, but you can see he's fighting very isolated at the moment, and Sofado's doing a good job. He's saying, I'm taking these fights that you're giving me. Here's an Oathsworn though. They wasted their Pila, right, on this Levy Freeman, so he knows he can get a free charge. Again, where's the backup? Where's the support? Nothing really there. And now these legions can probably just charge in. But I mean, there's another Oathsworn, so like whatever. He's isolating this tribal warrior. Again, he's making the tribal warrior, you know, it's out here doing nothing. And you could say, oh, it's fine, but like not really, right? Because he's screening. He has a 390 cost Galatian sword, or 380, whatever. And there's a 740 cost tribal warrior out here. So everywhere else in the fight, right? There's more of Galatian money invested in this fight. Um, and you could, you know, it's kind of fine because there's two Oathsworn, and maybe these Javcab aren't having too much impact, whatever. These guys. But really, like, you never want to have more money doing nothing. And what can they do? If they turn around, they get shot in the back by the Syrians, right? Here, this tribal warrior got isolated and destroyed. Galatian Legionary are going to kill off the Thracian warrior, which will get some decent kills on the Legion, but it's just going to die. So, I don't know if that's really worth it. Oathsworn, going to win against the Galatian Legionnaires, but nice play from Soft here. Just get the Slave Freeman in, retreat the Legion. Because like you don't want those legions to die to two Oathsworn, there's no point. If two Oathsworn are stacked up in one place, right? All you want to do, delay, 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 win everywhere else. Again, there's almost 2.6k, 2.7k, whatever, in this one area of the battlefield. So again, everywhere else, you should have an advantage, and that's kind of what you see, right? Advantage here, advantage here, advantage here. Flank, big advantage with the Cappadocians on the flank here. Even over here, right, you can run up. So by stacking these Oathsworn like this, there's so many weak points for Tillis. Where's the other Oathsworn? Okay, actually maybe not advantage here because there is no Oathsworn involved in this fight. But again, he has 3 Syrians, right? So he's gonna get rear charges here. These spears are not really covering the flank. He's fighting at too wide. You want basically what I would ideally want, I think, is like Oathsworn, 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 and then just, you know, support tribal warriors and support to cycle charge. And make it very hard to get rear charges, make it very hard to get rear shots for the Syrians. Just win with the Oathsworn up front because they demolished the legions. And everything else is just kind of Gucci. Here you can see the horse skirmishers doing a really good job taking care of their counterparts. And there's still 2 more horse skirmishers somewhere, or 3 horse. Nice angle again from Soft here. He knows this is an Oathsworn. This is the target he wants to kill, obviously. And now these guys getting sword side shots into this tribal warrior, just gonna absolutely demolish it. Sword side shots are great. Really good micro from Soft. This is like really, really high level play to be able to move your units around and get them into these tight areas. Of course, now you have to be careful the spear warriors are breaking through. Just to get that Galatian sword in there. You can see these Oathsworn just not having all that much impact. You can see this Galatian sword breaking through, Galatian Legionnaire breaking through, Cappadocians breaking through. And yeah, the Oathsworn are in, but they're not really taking care of business fast enough, right? Because they didn't lead the attack. They were the follow-up. So the Tribals are just losing because they were just worse. And the Oathsworn, sure, they're winning, even winning heavily, right? But the support for Tillis is just dying. And that's how you beat this kind of Oathsworn spam, is you have to kill the non-Oathsworn units. Which is not always easy, especially if the Oathsworn are kind of, you know, they have to lead the kind of course, you can have a Levy Freeman screen, you can have your slingers, but like your Oathsworn want to be the first ones in, right? So that they start winning fights and they set a timer. Like, you have to kill my other ship before these Oathsworn win, and that can be quite challenging. Tribal warrior 20 men here, Oathsworn 91, but it's gonna lose to these 2 Galatian Legionnaires. And here come the Galatian Raiders, but there's not much for them to do. Realistically, they weren't able to get into the game. Like 4 horse skirmishers is like definitely enough to get the raiding horse out of the game, but it's a heavy investment to just do that because the horse skirmishers aren't going to do much of anything else. 64 kills though, 40 kills, you can't really fault that. It's pretty good. The general's just having a field day, he's just rear charging units all day, but you can see it's still going to be pretty close here now because these Oathsworn are still alive. So we'll have to see how Soft deals with that. I mean, he's got the Syrians alive. He's going to have a couple legions. I mean, not a couple legions, really. Like, he's going to have 1, 2 legions at least. Yeah, 2 legions plus, like, all 3 Galatian swords. So these Oathsworn are, sure, they're alive, but they're not that healthy. Like, they're 108, sure, 60 men. They're going to be tired soon. I mean, he'll probably have a second win, but could have been on heavy shot here. Would be nice for you. But the real kicker is there's this cav unit and this cav unit, and they can just cycle charge those ones for days with the true support. And there's also this guy. Actually, I didn't see that, but they're quite low. Either way, though, just gonna be able to fight it out. The other thing is on pyramids or any desert map, you have to be very active with your abilities, because now you can see these Galatian legions are very tired. Not really great. These guys are only tired, but still pretty. You know, the desert heat is killer. So one thing I like to do is like use the second wind. Like when this guy gets to like active, just pop the second wind because you'll have another second wind ready by the time your other units get to like winded or tired. And that unit, yes, it was only active, so it's not like you're benefiting it short term, but it means that it has 0 fatigue now, right? So it's gonna take a while for it to go from perfectly fresh to winded, right, when you start losing stat bonus. So by popping it really early, you can kind of like double up your second wind. You get an extra second wind. Then when other units are winded, you can pop it again, and that unit will still be fresh, maybe active instead of being tired. So that's a good way to like use the second wind as much as possible. Raiding horse just getting screened out here while the Syrians shoot. They're probably almost out of ammo. Not quite though. No, they're still shooting. But they're running out. But those one are taking heavy losses. There's still huge Galatian sword unit here, and you can say, oh, they're just Galatian swords. Yes, but they're 118 men, which means they're extremely healthy. And these Oathsworn are not extremely healthy, I can tell you that. They are the only things remaining, the 3 Oathsworn. They're tired. There's Cav, there's Legions. I mean, these Raiding Horse could try to activate again. They could try to do something, but they're getting screened off. There's Cappadocians that just kill them in melee. The Noble Horse, even these swords will just kill them in melee. And there's not much to do. I mean, the Syrians are probably out now. No, these guys even still have ammo. 86 kills with a Chevron, 83 kills, pretty much a Chevron, so very nice kills. Now, obviously, some of these kills are on Slingers, but 30, 40 kills on Oathsworn is a big difference, for sure. General's very tired, but army losses will kick in here. See, these Raiding Horse are pretty useless now, or horse skirmishers, sorry. The Raiding Horse are trying to activate themselves, but now you can see, yeah, perfect. You just keep the Cav to wait for the Raiding Horse to engage. They're tired, by the way, right, so not exactly going to be fighting with the best capability. Now you're charging the Cav, charging the swords, the General, and Headhunt is the only reason he's not routing here. So yeah, that'll be it. So well played to Sofado. That was well executed, to be honest. Doing a lot of good things there. He did waste that one Syrian, but to the to the Spear Warrior, but whatever. It happens. But yeah, a very solid win. I think Ragnar just playing too wide with Tillis with only 3 Cav, and they're all Jav Cav. You need to play extremely condensed. It's a very good infantry force, you know, obviously much better than the Galatian infantry force, but it doesn't matter if all your other support gets killed, and the tribals obviously have not much to do when they get charged by Cappadocians and fought by Galatian legionaries, right? So, yeah, very convincing performance from Sauce. So we're good with game 3, which is going to be the pick band that I already said. So it's going to be Getai versus Swaby. Wait, okay, no, they repicked that. No, they rebanned, right? Because Soft was supposed to ban first instead. My bad. So let's see. Soft bans Nervii Lusitani. He just bans the faction that Ragnar won to pick. That's funny. But a good choice. Bactria Pontus ban for Ragnar, same thing. Right decision, I think. Salt goes Getai. Rag goes Swaby. That's an interesting matchup for sure. Not so bad for Swaby, honestly, because they have the Jevkov. Oh, but Soft goes Jevkov. Okay, interesting. This is a hodgepodge Getai build. I think Getai is one of the factions that always has like really weird builds, just like tons of different units, stuff like that. And Ragnar going balls to the wall, full info rush with fast charge. I like to see it. This is old school, but by God, is it effective. Leading the charge, 3 Wodenaz Spears. Gonna have 3 Spear Levy as well. He's got the 4 Javcav that you'd expect. He has Bloodsworn. Yeah, I mean, why not? Just go Bloodsworn. Very good for the cost. 2 Noble Riders and 3 Wolf Warriors. So no elite swords, but yes, 3 Wolf Warriors and 3 Wodenaz, 5 Bloodsworn. Like the Spear Levies are just there to absorb. So you know, it's classic Swaby build. You're gonna be weak to Cav, but you know, he has the Wodenaz up front, Spear Levy just to absorb, the 4 Jav Cav. Soft, on the other hand, has 3 Thracian Cav, not wanting to go Bow Horse. Understandable, but I think you still do go Bow Horse here, and you just put a Spear out here. The Spears are really useful because they can just, you know, they can block the Scout Riders from shooting your Bow Horse, because the Bow Horse are quite slow. But that way you have more anti-infantry power. Like, Javcav are not good against infantry. You don't have to worry about Cav in this matchup. So he's really bringing these Javcav strictly to... You should just engage here, brother. Okay, Ragnar's not gonna take it. Lights versus very light, so he's a bit slower there. He paid the price pretty heavily. A really good start for Ragnar. But yeah, he's bringing these Javcav strictly to defend against the enemy Javcav, which is like fine, but it feels a bit passive to me. Then I would take like these Spear Warriors and put them out on the flank, just like, again, Swavey is not going to be able to do anything but full rush. You don't want to also be condensed here. You have the cav advantage. Sure, he has better cav, but you have far more of it. So you want to be spread out here in order to maximize your cav efficiency and your infantry, right? So you don't get rushed. The infantry corps, by the way, axe warrior, so 4 axes, very standard with 2 noble swords. Got the general. He's got 3, 4 heavy horse or spear horse, which are heavy, which is nice against cav. But I can't say I would go this much spear horse though. They're just not that good, to be honest. Like 60 armor, 90 health, it's fine. And you're gonna be doing a lot of impact damage. But I don't know. Thracian Peltis and 2 bows. So 1 Thracian Peltis and 2 bows. It's an interesting combination. And then he has a heavy spear for some reason. Like, what the fuck are you doing with a heavy spear, bro? Literally just bring another Peltis, I think, at that point. Maybe he couldn't afford it. I don't really know, obviously. But, like, I think heavy spears cost about the same as a Peltis. But yeah, I'd definitely bring the bow horse. Like, that's... Because they can just fuck up Bloodsworn. Like, they just have enough, you know, the ammo difference, the damage, even the damage difference, to be honest. It's 8 more damage, like, 8 more ammo as well. It's a lot of extra damage when you add it up over a whole 3 units. I'm like, sure the Jav Cav are annoying, but I don't know, it doesn't feel worth it bringing these Jav Cav just to counter the enemy Jav Cav. So put a spear. Okay, here comes fast charge. Very early from Ragnar to pop it, but he has a whole minute, so it was popped at, let's say, 4:17 or something on the clock, so we can count down to 3:17. Sop's gonna keep running. I don't know if Ragnar's gonna catch him. 15 seconds have passed now. He's very fast. That's for damn sure. He's very fast. Doesn't look real. Maybe Soft is expecting it to fade, but it ain't gonna fade. And this is like the point with fast charge. You can catch them from a long distance. He probably obviously popped it too early, but like he still has another like 20 seconds to do it, so it's not really that bad. And this is causing Soft all sorts of micro problems. He has to deal with these Jav Cav. They're getting charged. He's not ready to shoot because he's running away. So this is honestly a pretty decent fast charge. However, a lot of these units are pretty far behind, so can Soft take advantage, maybe kill off these Wodenas? Obviously, it's going to be hard, but if he gets the Noble Swords in there, I think that would be quite good. You can just rip a charge here. Oh, he's going to take a lot. Okay, but the Thracian Pelts are in the center, so they're going to obliterate the General. Fast charge is going to wear off any second now. Okay, just suicide. Yeah, this is a good call. Just suicide to the Jav Cav to get a free charge. And the charge bonus is over, so he avoided the fast charge. But at what cost, right? Nice shots from the Jav Cav here, though. Gonna actually fuck up these Bloodsworn. Oh, they're mostly shooting the Spear Levy, I guess. But you should definitely get recharges here, right? While you can. Microfest everywhere. Noble Swords obliterating these Wodenas. Gonna obliterate these Bloodsworn as well. But the Bloodsworn getting that free charge, you know, they're gonna get a lot of kills with the charge. 33 charge with the 15, you know, with the AP and the 10 bonus. Shock Cav charge up the middle. Gonna just wipe out this Wolf Warrior. Just doesn't exist. That unit is gone. He needs to get this unit through the middle as well, just to save his general, I guess. This is a very nice, I mean, this is a lot of damage from the general, but it's going to take a little less as well. Well, it wasn't even that bad. As long as he can get out. General for Ragnar, oh, it's so exposed. He needs to, yeah, okay. Hard shooting it, getting a good engagement here, getting a good engagement here, but he doesn't have all that much infantry. You know, he's gonna run out of infantry eventually, although he's kind of fine, right? Like, Bloodsworn here, gonna lose the Axe Warriors, he's got a free Axe Warrior here, his Noble Swords are owning in the middle. Noble Horse gets out with 30 men, it's not the worst, got 116 kills, basically routed a couple units. Now here comes the flank though, right? And there's not a lot of infantry on this flank, so this Noble Horse is gonna be a big threat, and the 4 Jav Cav as well. He probably just wants to try to get these Jav Cav somehow. The Noble Horse is going to start obliterating units on the flank. Microfest everywhere. You know, these annoying Spear Levy breaking through. But the center is going to be owned by the Noble Swords. Wolf Warrior is getting in though now. Wolf Warrior is on the charge. 35 charge, 42 attack. Very nice. Even cycling a little bit behind these routing Wodenas is very smart. Because he can get another free charge. Nice shot from the Thracian Peltis. The generals for both sides are pretty weak. I'm surprised that Ragnar's general didn't take more damage. Honestly. Wolf Warrior's got a frenzied charge now even. Didn't look like a great charge, but still the charge bonus is gonna kick in with that frenzy. 55 charge, but higher weapon damage, higher attack, you know, very nice. Now, yeah, Soft's general needs to run. He's very close to the red line as well, which makes it easier to hunt down those archers. The Noble Riders actually kind of got fucked. They're only at 20 men, so like, good job from Soft focusing them down, to be honest. A really good job. Because they were a big threat. They were a full unit. Just getting in. Station heavy bows, though, dying to these spear levy. That should not be allowed. And the center is going to be pretty fantastic for Soft. So he just needs to kind of make it out here. Because like he's gonna lose on this side, some healthy units. Center's gonna be fine. This should be okay. I mean, it's actually close. Got this bows out, but now his general under duress. Yeah, he's gonna have to just he's gonna have to sacrifice. Oh, he's gonna go for the charge with his general. I don't know about that. I feel like his general had to live here. He's gonna allow these peltas to get out. Now the jab cav though coming into effect. This guy's alone, so it should be a pretty easy cleanup. General gonna go down, so that's huge. Big news there. And now, yeah, things are falling apart here a little bit. The Noble Swords can only do so much. They're healthy, but, or not that healthy really. 39, 75, 75. But the General has gone down, and that's going to probably spell disaster here, because the 4 Jav coverage is alive. Yeah, Soft concedes. Unfortunate. But yeah, I think his General dying there was the key, and the Spear Horse didn't really get enough value, to be honest. And the Javcav, especially, like, Rag's Javcav was just alive. They were hunting the whole game, the enemy Javcav, and because of the micro pressure that the fast charge put on Soft, he was able to really secure the Javcav advantage, and that really pushed, pushed things in his favor. Heavy Spears, by the way, getting no kills. That's unfortunate. I think they got hit by the fast charge, but I don't know why you bring a Heavy Spear. I mean, just 480. Yeah, I would just bring another. I would just bring an Airflation Peltis. Or maybe like, he had 2 and this. He could bring, so that's 10, 620 left. Oh, 10 short, but if he had any remaining money in his army, let's see. Recreating this by memory. Oh. Yeah, 40 left, right? So then easily what you do is you just replace this with this. Get rid of the Spear Warriors, get 2 Falksmen. Bada bing, bada boom. Your army is now much better. Okay, like I could see why the fault you wouldn't want the Falksmen. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you want the spears to screen for your Javcav. I can understand that if you kept the spears, or like block the fast charge. Like sure, but I think this change would be very nice. Would be appreciated. And then I think what I would really do is take the bow horse. Now you can definitely afford to bring the spears because you have more killing power with the bow horse. I mean, you're at risk of getting overwhelmed, I guess. But you have 5 cav, right? So then you just don't play defensively with the cav, protect the bow horse, let the bow horse shoot things down. I think you're in good shape. I mean, you're gonna get rushed with the fast charge, so you're gonna have to sacrifice a couple spear horse. So YOLO. Maybe you bring the Peltas out to the flank. I don't know. There's a lot of options. Not an easy matchup for Getai though. To be fair, like Suebi is quite a good faction here for the full rush. It was a very good rush from Ragnar. I liked the full info rush. I feel like there should be a max. What did Ragnar bring? He brought like 5 of these guys. I think 3 wolf, 3 of these guys, 3 of these guys, and 4 Javcav, right? I feel like there should be a limit. I mean, this is 14 infantry. Like, I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't be allowed, to be honest. But given that it was allowed, it was a very good army. I can't lie. But yeah. Anyway, really good games to both players. Ragnar takes the series 2-1, so now he will face Ulda in the next round. So that side of the bracket, Acer, Ulda, Soft, Rag, like very top heavy side of the bracket. So that should be a very good game. I'll probably commentate those as long as the games are decent. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. More content coming soon, especially for the con. And see you guys in the next video then. Peace.